So today I want to talk about Ben Carson and the release of a rap video to appeal to minority or black voters. And I just want to talk about why he is the worst out of the worst Republican candidates, just in general. Now, the reason that I made the title Ben Carson Hates Black People is because Ben Carson is a person that grew up in the black community. He grew up in poverty. He utilized welfare, food stamps, many government social services that uplifted him to where he is today. But he now thinks that the Republican conservative policies of pretty much austerity, where you cut everything and you let 5-year-olds, starve pretty much, is going to somehow fix the problems within the black community. Now, yes, there are people who abuse the system, but I would rather pay for making sure that children don't go hungry at night than blowing up, some place overseas or something. We have to have our priorities to a point where we don't let people starve in our country. And Ben Carson just doesn't care. I give it to him. Yeah, he's a great neurosurgeon. He's one of the best neurosurgeons probably ever. But just because you're good at one thing does not make you automatically good at something else. Just because you can fly an airplane does not mean you can drive a submarine. And I'm pretty much sick and tired of the narrative that, he's a neurosurgeon. He must just automatically be a smart guy because he can operate on brains. And no, and when you see him talk about foreign policy and the way the government functions, he doesn't have a fucking clue. And then he's constantly saying just out there bizarre stuff like, he said that marriage is between a man and a woman. And he said that no group, be they gays, be they NAMLA, which is the pedophile child molester organization, or be they people who believe in bestiality, it doesn't matter who they are, they don't get to change the definition of marriage. So he's basically comparing law-abiding American consenting adults who love each other, who just happen to be gay, to people who fuck animals and people who molest children. Okay? And then he also said that abortion is the number one death in the black community. So he pretty much wants to overturn Roe v. Wade. And he wants to go back to a point in time where women would stick metal hangers up their vaginas to have abortions, and lots of them died. Also, another reason that people tend to give when it comes to picking political affiliation is that they care more about the economy than social issues. And I'm like that also. I care far more about the economy and having a job than I do social issues. I still care about social issues, but not at the same degree that I care about economic issues. And people think that the Republican Party is the party of, we're the party that creates jobs. We might suck when it comes to social issues, but we're the guys who are phenomenal when it comes to economics or whatever. And that's just a flat out fucking lie. They suck at when it comes to economic policy. Over the last 30 or 40 years, every time we had a Republican in the White House, we had a recession or, close to getting to a depression. Bill Clinton gave George W. Bush a $400 to $500 billion surplus, and W2 handed that surplus, or he turned that surplus into a $1.8 trillion deficit for our current president, Barack Obama. So the notion of Republicans being good with the economy is just absurd. But the reason that Ben Carson is even crazier than the average typical Tea Party Republican is that he wants to go to a flat tax system, which every reputable economist in the world has said will crash the economy. We would go into a depression and go bankrupt if we went to a flat tax system. But facts are just the darnest things, And then the last thing, and the thing that I want to talk about, when I mentioned in the beginning of the video, was how he made a rap video to appeal to black voters. As if, he's hip, he's cool, he made a rap video which didn't even fucking rhyme. and it was just like it was so whack. I mean, when I was listening to that um, in the car or whatever, because I like listening to news when I'm driving, I was like, what a cornball. And he thinks that black people are somehow some sort of single entity that all think alike and don't have differing opinions. There's lots of black people that fall all throughout the political spectrum, whether it be for good reasons or bad reasons or whatever. Black people are not one single, entity that votes all the same. I mean, but to be honest with you guys, the Republican Party has pretty much, with this racist rhetoric, has pretty much made it so why would any black person want to vote for a Republican anyways? But when it comes to Ben Carson in this rap video, I mean, you should be offended that he's insulting our intelligence. I mean, yeah, there is a lot of uninformed black voters, just like there's a lot of uninformed black voters of every race, not just black people. But he's making it seem as if every African American is like this. I listened to that video and it was pathetic. And the last thing that I want to talk about in this video is his crazy crackpot conspiracy theories when it comes to the pyramids. I mean, this is a man that wants to run the most powerful country in the world. We are by far, we have the largest military, largest economy, largest scientific and research output in the world, and he wants to be in the helm of it. And he said that the pyramids were used as grain storage. Now, there's archaeologists that heard that comment and they pretty much, some of them probably fell to the ground laughing. It's so absurd. Because if the pyramids were used for grain stores, then they would probably be hollow and they wouldn't just be like little corridors and tunnels. But he thinks because some, God benevolent miracle came down and gave the Egyptians the know-how to build these pyramids, and then there you go. I mean, that's crazy. And this is a guy who wants to have in his control the nuclear codes. Not going to happen. I'm voting for Bernie Sanders because he's a person that cares about the working American people, and Ben Carson just is another mindless minion of the Republican, it's just crazy machine or something. But yeah, thanks for watching.